Hello everybody, my name is Sam Marwood. I'm the co-founder of Cultivate Farms, and thanks very much for having me here today. I apologise that I can't be there. I'm in Melbourne this weekend, but I'm just down the road in Albury, so it wouldn't have taken much to get there. So hope you're having a great day. Today I want to outline just some really practical steps for new farmers and current young farmers on how to really make your farm dream a reality and maybe how to kick your farming dream along. Thanks to Camille Coleman for inviting me to come and talk. We're keen to just get people excited about being a farmer, putting farming back up the top of career options, and we just haven't seen much out there in the ag industry in Australia, and if not the world really, that helps young people get on and own and operate their own farm. So exciting times ahead. I hope this is really practical for you. Love you to get your notepads out or your iPhone or your phone and write in your notes. Just want to get you pumped up that you can be a farmer. So what do we do with Cultivate Farms? I guess we're a startup. We are launching a new website in April, which I'll talk about in a minute. But basically, it's a matchmaking service where we match aspiring farmers with a retiring farming family and investors to own and operate a farm together. So in that way, we eliminate the need for a young or aspiring farmer to have $5 million, $2 million, $500,000 to get going. If you've got passion and dedication and skill, you can make your farming dreams a reality. And in this way, we're opening up resurrecting the dead dreams of many people. We've met so many people who say, of course I'd be a farmer, but there's no way I can do it. And we're saying, well, if we can match you with the right people, you could be farming in a couple of months' time, and it gets people really excited, which is what we're all about. We want to get young people back on the land, rejuvenate regional communities. So how it works is that we do three things. We generate hope, so we tell you that it is possible and promote that it is possible for anyone to be a farmer. All you need is passion and skill. Second is farm ready, so we support you in finding education opportunities to get your skills up so that when farmers do arrive, for you to jump on them, you're ready to go. So whether that's training or whether it's working on a farm. And then third is actually the matchmaking. So we'll find farms for you, and we're already finding farms, or you can bring your own farm. So you might have a retiring farmer you know who's willing to back you. We can have a chat and see what needs to happen to make that a reality. So there are three things. I don't really want to focus on Cultivate Farms. I just want to focus on practical steps for you guys. We've found, and maybe these are the two things keeping the back of your mind through this whole talk, that there are actually two solutions to making anyone's farm dreams a reality. The number one is realizing that you probably will never own a farm 100% on your own. I think it's a bit of a dream anyway, or a false reality that people do own their farms. They own them with a bank. So we're thinking about, well, how do you modify this? We just add, maybe you still got bank debt, but you've got an investor backing you and maybe a retiring farmer. So it's more of a company and a business that you're running as an equity owner yourself, rather than you being a sole trader. And we think there's lots of benefits in that, but also it opens up the ability for you to get on a farm quicker if you have that mentality. So that's one. You don't have to own the farm 100% yourself. And really, this is all about matchmaking. So there's people who want to get on a farm, there's people who want to get off a farm, there's people who want to invest, and they find it hard to find each other. And so if you can do this yourself, match yourself with a retiring farmer, we can help match you with investors. So it's all about having conversations. So I guess that's the main thing, that is probably not that hard. Other than hard work and a lot of legwork and talking, really all you need to do is find the right people who have the same needs, and your farming dreams can be a reality. So 100% ownership, probably not a reality. And two, it's all about just connecting with the right people. So get out there and talk. So I understand people listening today are either aspiring farmers or new farmers. So I'll break my tips down into those sections and start off with the new farmer. And really this is just context around you can be a farmer. So might just wait till this airplane goes. And actually, before I go into that, I might just talk about the issues that a lot of young people tell us about the barriers to farming. And again, we want to sort of eliminate them and let you know they're not really barriers. and you can work around them most of the time. So number one is capital. So again, just said you don't need capital. You need a little bit of equity to buy in and show you're committed, but you don't need $500,000, maybe 50,000, maybe 10,000, depending on how good you are. Getting access to land is a big one. So I know a lot of farms get on the market and they're sold in 30 days. It's hard to get a lease. So finding access to farms is really a difficult thing. What again we want to do is encourage people to have conversations that maybe there are some farmers looking to lease who love the idea of supporting a young family, and that's what we're hinging our bets on, that we can find those people who get it, who get the need to get young people into the bush and back on farms. So finding land is an issue that we're trying to get around, but you can do it too by just letting people know that you want to be a farmer. People reckon you need patience to be a farmer, and that's pretty true. You probably won't be till 40 when you've earned enough equity, or 50, that you can actually be a farmer, and we think that's just not good enough. We want to get people on when in their 20s, when they're full of passion and full of energy and ready to go. So patience is good. It won't happen overnight, but you don't have to wait 30 or 40 years to get on your own farm. Now, timing is another need that, or another thing people think they need to be able to become a farmer. Like, you need to have the right timing for when a farm pops up and have enough money in your bank to make it happen. Again, you shouldn't be waiting around for a farm to be on the market. You should be proactive and knowing the whole community that you know that Brian and Mary are going to sell up in 2 years' time, and you're there talking to them all the time, getting them ready, and letting them know that you are ready to take over their farm at the drop of a hat. Other ways people get onto farms is by buying a small piece of land, and then they have a job on the side. And look, that sounds romantic, but it just feels very unsustainable. You're never going to get the farm to the scale you need, that you can quit your job and all your money from your job is just being poured into the farm. And you might be able to use it to scale up over time, but it feels like hard work, and to what end? So that's one that we would say, why not just go for the farm you want, rather than doing a piecemeal bits here and there. And the other thing we want to make sure is not a barrier is the need to be profitable. So we know it's hard to farm. We know that you guys as young farmers probably don't have all the skills you need. So every farm we set up, we'll be making sure that they're backed by advisors and the best in the industry. And if you're backed by an investor as well, you've got a wealth of knowledge, and even the retiring farmer as well, their knowledge as well. So you'll be backed by these amazing people to make sure that you're not just farming on your own in the middle of nowhere. You're backed by some great people. So that was just, I probably didn't introduce that very well, but that was some ideas around the needs that we've found from people, or the barriers that we've found that are stopping people from getting onto farms. So the tips for aspiring farmers. The first one is just know that you can be a farmer. So you've probably been thinking, I know I can't be a farmer. I want you to sit there right now and know that you can be a farmer. It could be a reality, and that's the very first thing you need to know. And then from there you go, well, do I have the passion? Do I have the dedication? Is this really what I want? You've got to make sure you've got the dedication to get up every morning and do this job, have this career. And if you don't have that, don't be a farmer. That'd be the first thing. So make sure you test yourself that this is really something you want, and you're willing to spend the next 3 or 4 years getting ready to jump on that farm, your dream farm. I'd encourage you to write down your plan. So know what sort of farmer you want to do, what sort of farmer you want to be, and that way that's a really powerful thing just in your own mind, but you can use that to tell other people your story. So tied in with that is having a pitch. Like, you should be treating your desire to be a farmer like it being an entrepreneur. Like, you've got a business idea, and with that you will have the hustle, you have the energy, you'll have the desire to tell everyone and anyone that you're going to be a farmer, and you're out there promoting that. And if you've got a plan, that's a great thing to be able to get your story straight. So knowing that you can be matched with investors and retiring farmers gives you that hope. You should push that passion, and you should be writing down your plan, and then just telling everybody around about it, which is pretty much the next steps of or the next tips I have are all around this idea of telling people. You need to get out there and promote it as much as possible. You never know what's going to happen out of that. In fact, that's where your opportunities will come. No one's going to offer you a farm if they don't know you want to be a farmer, or that you can. So I'd encourage you to be a blogger. Set up a simple blog page and blog your journey of being a wannabe farmer, or blog your journey of, maybe you do have a little bit of land, of your desires to be a farmer. Do a weekly update talking about your story and your journey and who you've spoken to and how hard it is and your troubles, and use that to promote to people that you're trying to be a farmer, and they go, that's pretty impressive that you're out there promoting it on social media. So I think social media is massive. You should be writing, you should be in video blogs, we're doing Facebook Lives now, so we've seen the power of just getting out there and talking about your journey. That's the sort of stuff you should be doing to let people know you want to be a farmer. So type in that is having a Facebook page, a Twitter page, Instagram page, and again, based on that story of I want to be a farmer. Anyone knows anyone who wants to sell, love the idea of getting a great person like me on board, get in touch, build out your following, tell a story. It'll probably take 2, 3 or 4 years, but you just got to be out there promoting. How much do you want this? The other things you can do is go to things like RSLs, SSNA clubs, and actually get out there and hang out where retiring farmers hang out, or the older generation hang out, and become their friends. It might be a bit awkward, I can understand that, but again, how much do you want this? You should be thinking of all the places that those farmers who have great properties and looking to step back would hang out, and you should be hanging out there too. Whether it's the church or where else they hang out. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Community functions, the fire station. Wherever you can, just be out there, mingling with them, letting them know that you want to be a farmer. And from there, you should be offering your time for free. Even saying, hey, I'm happy to help out whenever you need. If you need help with this, with shearing, with fencing, whatever, I'm keen. I just want to get out there and get experience. So you should be offering value to these people, so that when the topic pops up that you want to be a farmer, they'll go, oh, so you could buy my farm. You're a good worker. Actually, I would actually consider having you or working with you as some sort of equity arrangement or vendor finance or whatever. But unless you're putting yourself out there, no one's going to know, and no one's going to care, and no one's going to give you opportunity. You should do things like leasing land and getting your skills up in farming, so you can maybe buy 50 acres, or you can lease 50 acres, get a small plot of land, buy some cattle, build your herd, sell direct, get out there, drive down driveways of people's farms and have a chat with them. Again, it takes guts, but you should be out there trying to find opportunities to talk to people, say, I want to lease land, and also I'm going to be a farmer. One day I just need to find the right farmer, get the conversation going, and people talk. The realities are it might take 5 years for this to happen. Couldn't happen tomorrow. But most likely, like any good business, you need to be dedicated, you need to put in time, you need to put in the effort. But I think if you can show people you're dedicated to this and you have a way to buy the farm, opportunities are going to pop up. So let's say you're a current farmer now. So I'm assuming you're either on a farm, your family farm, or you're on just a small bit of land and you do have that off-site job. So what are some tips for you? Again, I'd say write down your dream. Is this really the farm you want? And is this really operating the way you want? I've heard a lot of family farms where the next generation just don't have the control that they want or the say that they want. And I'd encourage you to move on. I would say think about another farm you can go work on or lease. But if life's too short to be feeling crap and not happy with things, go get some other skills. Go get another job. If you know that you're going to get the farm eventually, go do it, and that might actually get your parents thinking, well, maybe we should open up better opportunities. So if you're not happy with your arrangements with your family, I'd say move on, and then think about doing what a new farmer who doesn't have the farm does, and tell people you want to have your own bit of land and do exactly what they'll be doing around social media, blogging, telling people you want to be a farmer. But you don't. I think the days of sitting around and whinging that your parents aren't giving you the control you want are over. Get out there and create your own destiny, and don't just be relying on that farm that you're on. But also, maybe you do have a great farm and it's worth plugging it away. It's up to you. But yeah, I can seriously consider not just sitting back and letting life happen. You might also think about, well, is the farm really at the scale you need to be profitable? So there are other ways of getting investors on board to scale up your farm, which I think is a really interesting idea. And again, you don't own the farm 100%, but you get that capital to get the farm really at the scale you want. So I'd encourage you to start thinking about that sort of stuff. There are vehicles and people out there who would want to invest into a farming operation like that. And then, if you own your own little bit of land and have a job elsewhere, I'd again get you to write down your dream. Is this really what you want? Do you really want 30 acres just outside of town that doesn't make any money? You should be dreaming, well, I'll use this as leverage to show people I'm dedicated and I'm going for it and building equity. But really my dream is whatever, the 1,000 acres, 2 hours out of town, or whatever it is. But don't just think that this is your stepping stone and after 30 years of working, you'll eventually be able to buy another 50 acres. I think about what you really want out of life. Do you really want to be a farmer? Do you really want to be working this other job? And again, if you want to go bigger, you've got to start promoting to people that you want to get out there and be a real farmer, a bigger farmer, and promote that to people, same as the aspiring farmer. So I think, as you can see, all those are really about knowing you can be a farmer, knowing that there are solutions to get the capital, and third is all up to you. It's about you promoting what you want and your vision, so that opportunities will pop up, and they will pop up. That's what we're finding with the Cultivate Farms, is we're letting people know that this possibility, and farms are coming to us now, and the next few years are going to be really exciting with getting lots of aspiring farmers back on the land. So how does a match work? And I've only got a few, maybe I'm over time already, but basically we would, if you find a retiring farmer, we'd catch up with them and even get our advisors in, and they'd have their own advisors, and you'd sit down and go, what's your dream of this farm? What have you done on this farm? What would you have loved to have done? How do you want to go in the future? Do you want to remain as owner equity? Do you want to lease it? Do you have kids that need to have some equity? And just talk about that and figure out what the solution is. And then we'd sit down and say, yep, this is the direction. It's going to be equity, let's say. And they want to retain some equity. We'd pull apart the farm, figure out the numbers, and get it ready for investors. And then we'd make sure that you're part of that deal, that you be an equity owner yourself, and figure out all the arrangements of ongoing management, make sure the investors are happy with the returns and the ongoing management as well. You'd have your own lawyers and own advisors, whoever you want in there the whole way, and we'd be backing you. So our focus is on making sure the aspiring farmer has a great deal. Do all the legal work, all the requirements might take 6 to 12 months, but eventually all the paperwork and you'll be on your farm. Sounds pretty easy. So I probably better leave it there. Just to want to reiterate to aspiring farmers, dream, get out there and dream. And all the farmers, whether aspiring or a new farmer, if your dream isn't being fulfilled right now, dream bigger and tell everybody about it, and opportunities will pop up. So for us, we have a website that's being updated next month in April, so we'd love your support. The more people we have on there that are registered as aspiring farmers, the more people we can promote that to, more investors, more farms will pop up, and the higher chance is that you will be a farmer in no time. So yeah, we'd love you to back us. Love any questions you have, send me an email, jump on our Facebook, jump on our website. Want to hear stories of aspiring farmers, and we can use that to promote to all the people we're trying to convince to get you on your farm. So I hope that's been useful. I hope you're pumped. I hope you made notes, and no doubt you can watch this video again another time. But I love the idea. I love that you guys have passion for farming, and we want to support that passion. So just get out there and tell everyone that you're going to be a farmer, and we'll help make that happen. Cheers.